Don't ignore the signs God is giving you. We see no better example of someone ignoring the signs from God than King Nebuchadnezzar in the book of Daniel. We see it took God 3 miraculous events before he finally got to King Nebuchadnezzar's heart. The first one, of course, was when he asked his magicians and his wise men to not only interpret one of his dreams, but to tell him the dream in the first place. And we all know the actual event. God gave Daniel the interpretation of the dream and the dream itself. And when Daniel told King Nebuchadnezzar acknowledged and said, "Your God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings." So we see after this first event, King Nebuchadnezzar did acknowledge God, but he didn't fully devote himself to him. We then see the second event, and this is when King Nebuchadnezzar made the statue of gold and commanded that everybody must worship and bow down to it. But of course, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to do that. So King Nebuchadnezzar had them thrown into the furnace, and that's when he sees them in the furnace as well as a fourth who looks like the Son of the living God. This is when King Nebuchadnezzar said and acknowledged that God is the only God who could save this way, and he said that nobody should speak wrong of the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So this is the second event where God was pulling after him, and maybe he got a little bit closer, but he still did not devote himself fully. Then we see the third event. This is when he had another dream, and of course Daniel interprets this dream and says that he is going to be driven insane for 7 years. King Nebuchadnezzar was going to be humbled and humiliated, and he's going to lose his kingdom for 7 years and be in the wilderness like a beast. But after that time, he will be restored and come back. And of course, just like Daniel said, because he got that interpretation from God, that exact event happened. King Nebuchadnezzar was humbled, but he eventually was restored to the kingdom. And this time, after this third miraculous event, he finally acknowledged God. And we see here in Daniel 4, he says, "Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and exalt and glorify the King of heaven, because everything he does is right, and all his ways are just, and those who walk in pride he is able to humble." So we see here, we learn a great lesson from King Nebuchadnezzar. Don't wait for God to give you sign after sign after sign, because we know that God is continually after our hearts. He's continually after everyone. He doesn't want anyone to perish. So don't wait for sign after sign.